Good day, friend. Today we shall consider the all-important topic of parents and children. The fifth commandment. The fifth commandment. Unfortunately, some people say the law, the Ten Commandments are done away with. I don't know how come people could say that when today we see the effects of lack of respect and obedience to these laws. We shall consider Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Exodus 20 and verse 12. It says, Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. If you notice, it did not say anything about if they are nice, if they're kind, if they're handsome, if they're pretty, or if they're educated or non-educated. The one condition is that they are your parents, your father and your mother. God commands that you honor your father and your mother. And to further contemplate this topic and to put more light on it, I shall read from the book The Adventist Home by Ellen G. White, page 292. It says, Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. This is the first commandment with promise. The first commandment with promise. It says, It is binding upon children and youth, upon the middle-aged and the aged. There is no period in life when children are excused, no period in life, no matter how old you are, from honoring your parents. This solemn obligation is binding upon every son and daughter, and is one of the conditions to their prolonging their lives upon the land which the Lord give to the faithful. This is not a subject unworthy of notice, but a matter of vital importance. The promise is upon condition of obedience. If you obey, you shall live long in the land which the Lord your God give you. If you disobey, you will not prolong your life in the land. And there seems to be a curse in the land because of this lack of respect for parents. We see the effects too much in our homes. Many times law enforcement has to come in and people get hurt, people get locked up. It widens the gap, because of hard feelings. And many of our children run away from home before time and they end up in trouble. They become lost and found sometimes they never found. They get involved in drugs, prostitution, stealing to survive, just become a wanderer without any abiding city. And so, friend, we got to see how important God's laws are. They cannot be broken without impunity. They just cannot. Listen, parents are entitled to a degree of love and respect which is due to no other person, not your wife, not your husband, not your children, your parents. They have a special role and that they have played in your life and that they will continue to play in your life that nobody else can play. God himself, who has placed upon them a responsibility for the souls committed to their charge, has ordained that during the earlier years of life, parents shall stand in the place of God to their children. In the earlier years of life, parents stand in the place of God to their children. And he who rejects the rightful authority of parents is rejecting the authority of God. That's the thing. We don't even hear this coming from our pulpit too much anymore, that children need to respect and obey their parents. And so there's a breakdown in communication. Not even our pastors are making it a point of duty to include this in their sermons, that children need to love, respect, and obey their parents. And that will help keep them out of trouble. Right? So we're not hearing it from the pulpit also. We're not hearing it from our civic desk. And so therefore children running wild. Okay. The fifth commandment requires children not only to yield respect, submission and obedience to their parents, but also to give them love and tenderness, to lighten their cares, to guard their reputation, and to succor and comfort them in old age. Our parents did not just lay eggs and lay us and bear us in the stand to come out on our own. God specifically ordained that during the period of pregnancy we stay in our mother's womb. Our life is completely dependent upon hers. What she ate, what she eats, we eat. What she drinks, we drink. Huh? When she sleeps, we may sleep. If she's happy, we are happy. See how much we're dependent upon our mothers? And after we're born, the first place we look is to her breast, for food, for milk, and for warmth and protection and love. We can never repay for those, friends. Never. God cannot prosper those who go directly contrary to the plainest duty specified in His Word, the duty of children to their parents. If they disrespect and dishonor their earthly parents, they will not respect and love their Creator. God cannot prosper those who go directly contrary to the plainest duty specified in His Word. When children have unbelieving parents and their commands contradict the requirements of Christ, then, painful though it may be, they must obey God and trust the consequences with Him, as seen in Acts chapter 5 verse 29. We ought to obey God rather than man. So that's the only time we disobey our parents, when their directives are in contrary to the law of God. In these last days, children are so noted for their disobedience and disrespect that God has especially noticed it, and it constitutes a sign that the end is near. It shows that Satan has almost complete control of the minds of the young. By many, age is no more respected. What a shame. What a shame. There are many children who profess to know the truth, who do not render to their parents the honor and affection that are due to them, who manifest but little love to father and mother, and fail to honor them in deferring to their wishes or in seeking to relieve them of anxiety. Many who profess to be Christians do not know what it means to honor and thy father and thy mother, and consequently will know just as little what it means that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. In this rebellious age, children who have not received right instruction and discipline have but little sense of their obligation to their parents. It is often the case that the more their parents do for them, the more ungrateful they are and the less they respect them. Children who have been petted and waited upon always expect it, and if their expectations are not met, they are disappointed and discouraged. Thus, this same disposition will be seen throughout their whole lives. They will be helpless, leaning upon others for aid, expecting others to favor them and yield to them. And if they are opposed, even after they have grown to manhood and womanhood, they think themselves abused. And thus they worry their way through the world, hardly able to bear their own weight, often murmuring and fretting because everything does not go their way. Sister White says, I saw that Satan had blinded the minds of the youth, that they could not comprehend the truth of God's word. Their sensibilities are so blunted that they regard not the injunctions of the Holy Word. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and your mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long upon the earth. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord. Children who disobey and dishonor their parents and disregard their advice and instruction can have no part in the earth made new. The purified new earth will be no place for the rebellious, the disobedient, the ungrateful son and daughter. Unless such learn obedience and submission here, they will never learn it. The peace of the ransom will not be marred by disobedience, unruly and submissive children.